Yeah, good.
The Houston Rockets obviously are in the running for the third seed, and the Portland Trailblazers are doing really great with Damian Lillard. There's two big differences, obviously, with the MVP, with your longtime veteran all-star point guard, Chris Paul, and you have Clint Capella, one of the best young men in the game, out there being a presence in the paint ever since he returned from the All Star break. The Rockets have won games without Chris Paul this year. Many people were really shocked to see this happen, and many people said there's no way that was going to happen. Well, I just felt that simply this was the same team that, with the exception of a few role players in there, I do feel that all these signings throughout the season have helped. Kenneth Farid being really tough in the board, playing with a lot of energy out there. He is as fine of a big man as there is off the bench. Eric Gordon shooting threes, PJ Tucker being a defender and all, being really great along the corner. That corner shooter, that Roger Bell from the Mike D'Antoni running gun Suns. Number 13, Steve Nash. 13 is both a lucky and an unlucky number. And the Suns never could really take it to the next step. They didn't get that break that they needed to win a championship. And Tim Donaghy and the Spurs winning that year, that sort of reminds me of, David Stern catering to the international fans in San Antonio had all these international players and all. So Spurs are really popular across the world, believe it or not. So when you hear them say, "Oh, they'll never let the Spurs in the NBA Finals," well, compared to American ratings, just you can imagine ratings across the world. I mean, China has over 1 billion people and all. So Steve Nash was just simply unlucky. What can I say, even though I criticize his defense? And number 13, James Harden is the all round assassin superstar needed to make the Houston Rockets a great team. This guy just has the it factor, period. What can I say about James Harden? Because it looks so ugly a lot of times when you see him play basketball and you see them og the ball, dribble, dribble, make those moves through his legs and just wait for a step back 3 pointer and all. And even when two guys are in his face, he starts picking shots. But he should pass the ball to his teammates more. And I always try to do that. But he doesn't do that LeBron James part. But what the Rockets are an effective all round shooting team with Mike D'Antoni's system, and they play well defensively. The Houston Rockets keep in mind started 1-5 this year. They started 1-5 this year, and they are going to have the real MVP of the NBA because even though Giannis is going to win MVP on the Milwaukee Bucks, that may prove to be a so-called MVP jinx if we see that the Milwaukee Bucks don't make it to the NBA Finals if it's the Philadelphia 76ers instead, for instance. And James Harden led this team. He led them when Chris Paul and when Clint Capella were both out with injury. He won without them against Golden State. They beat Golden State without James Harden. They can take on those brothers. There's all these injuries with the Rockets, Warriors teams are just really so weird when you think about it. Like big time names happening to get injured for this particular game in the NBA. Stephen Curry misses the first game. He missed the first game against the Rockets. I just want to type that quickly. That probably makes things go so slow. So this is the only time I'm going to do it. And then Kevin Durant missed the past game against the Golden State Warriors. Then we had James Harden missing the game. And now I want to say that Chris Paul missed the second game of the series, against the regular season series between the Warriors this year. Keep in mind that Houston had a 3-1 record against Golden State in the regular season. That was scripted because Houston equals 31 in Gematria, for instance. 3-1 against the Warriors in the regular season. I think that's really revealing. If you were to ask me how many games the series would go, it would be 7. I'd have to say 7 because, I think with the gematria for this is that, keep in mind, I did predict the series to go 7 games last year, so let's see if I can get the games right again. It's 7-game Western Conference Finals, and it's 7 that equals 65 now. Here's what I'm going to present for Golden State. Is that Golden State, is coming off of a repeat. Is it going to be in jeopardy or not? That's a really big question. Now, is Kevin Durant going to win his 7th championship to have, pretty much Kevin Durant signed with the Warriors on July the 4th, and the Warriors have a 6-4 record in NBA Finals right now. And if Kevin Durant were to win the championship, then the Philadelphia, Golden State Warriors would have 7 championships and 4 runner-ups total. But it could end at 6-4 with Stephen Curry, who's still going to play with the Golden State Warriors throughout the rest of his career. That's happening for that. Lakers have to be the 6th team to win a three-peat in the NBA. This is what's going to happen for LeBron, Ramon, James, number 6. With the Miami Heat, keep in mind, he's trying to chase Jordan for his 6th championship. That's why he wore number 6 in Miami, quite frankly, he was chasing those 6 rings. He truly was. And what this is all about is that the Lakers will be the 6th team to three-peat. I think LeBron James going to go 6-6 in NBA Finals. A lot of 6 with LeBron James because, of course, it's LeBron James and gematria that equals 66. In simple gematria, that is. The series would have to be, if you think about it, if you were to go off of the Warriors or the Rockets postseason record against the Warriors in the past couple of seasons, when you include this postseason, is that the Rockets have a 3-4 record against the Warriors in the playoffs. So I actually think the Rockets would win game 1. And then obviously the Golden State Warriors would win game 2. Game 3 is really too soon to say so. But when I think about the record in game 7, if that were the case, is that the Golden State Warriors would have 7 wins, and then the Rockets would have 6 wins. Let's see, a 14th game would be between the 2 teams in the playoffs, and that's going to be the end of dominance. It's N that equals 23, and James Harden would lose 2 of 3 Western Conference Finals to the Golden State Warriors. James Harden, number 13, is going to go 1-3 against the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals because the Warriors played in 2015. Don't forget that. That was the Warriors, first ever Western Conference title in such a long time. It was like 50 years or something like that. How many years since their last championship? And truly, it's all going to end against James Harden. James Harden's number 13 is going to represent the good fortune for Mike D'Antoni. So notice how this has revolved all around Mike D'Antoni. What's happened throughout his career with the Suns, he failed to win the championship. I've seen this here in Phoenix and Arizona. And mind you, James Harden went to Arizona State as well. He went to school where the Suns are located at. So that is a funny thing to know, too, on the side. Philadelphia and the 13 colonies. I think you've seen the trades of Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris make them really strong. They're really cold right now. Embiid got hurt for a while. Simmons is struggling. Perfect ingredients to doubt the Philadelphia 76ers, but then they can turn it around, come playoff time. And they're now number 3 in the East, and they're as strong as it gets. Celtics are not going to make it this year. They're going to struggle for a couple of years in time. I think when you take into account Stephen Curry being completely ridiculous and BSing things, the Sacramento Kings They suck. They haven't been to playoffs in years. Absolute rubbish. Let me talk about Sacramento Kings. Stop me with the Sacramento Kings stuff, Carl, man. No, they're gay, Carl. The Kings are garbage. I put in my Premier League in Syria in my Liga picks. I'm all set with that onto the side. But when I want to stick with this, I want to stick with the fact that truly, pretty much, James Harden, this is his year. And his 61-point performances against the New York Knicks, and then the other night it was, who was it against? Yeah, San Antonio Spurs. He had it against Stephen Curry. I mean, it's funny how these things happen when you talk about Steve Kerr playing on the Michael Jordan Bulls, and then he becomes part of a really dominant Golden State Warriors team itself, and he just lines up right behind. Steve Kerr was the general manager of the Phoenix Suns when Mike D'Antoni was in. Once it was the end of his tenure, and I just like how he'd be going up against the former coach that he was a part of, which is Mike D'Antoni, by the way. D'Antoni and then Steve Kerr, general manager, and now we see the Suns having a bad season, having the first overall pick. So what significance do the Suns in Arizona have all this, and Arizona being a first round pick and all this, and trading away Paul Goldschmidt and this shit and all, like fucking shit. What the hell was going on with Arizona in the year 2019? Seriously, something else to look at. Jet Pazolik, defensive assistant, back with the Houston Rockets. They play much better, much more shut down right now. NCAA, I really have no idea what's going on. I wanted to end here my NBA and all, but college and all, it's really surprising, and it really makes March Madness great. So it's really tough the sport to pick out there, and a lot of times you see these upsets coming out of nowhere. It's really hard to explain, but that's pretty much what college basketball is. The most talented kids in recent years, like DeAndre Ayton and Lonzo Ball, end up losing because they're not legendary and strong enough to succeed in the NBA. So I want to end there. James Harden and company, by the numbers, through the gematria, the Houston Rockets won the championship in between the Michael Jordans, two threepeats. Same thing with LeBron James, in between missing the NBA Finals, having 3 rings, chasing ring number 6.